Wrenching Boys YouTube channel. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit, but I've been trying to figure out some stuff here. So the short box was having some wonky stuff going on. Part of the reason was I didn't read the instructions right on how to do the 4L80 swap. So I was using the 5.3 harness, and that's what I still am using, but I missed a couple steps. I don't know how. I maybe rushed to get it together. I don't know, but it's fixed. So what was my problem is I had the 5.3 harness. I repinned it off of lt1swap.com for using the 80, where you move a couple pins around and then you make a new speed sensor, and then bam, you got an 80 harness. But I had the sensors mixed up. I still probably need to adjust my prindle, but at first, my tack, I can start it. I wish I had a video of it before, but the speedo would be moving with the tack, so I'd have two tacks. It was some weird stuff. So if anybody has that problem when they're doing a 4L60 to 4L80 swap with a 5.3 harness, or just in general, that is caused by the sensor not being in the right spot on the tranny. So if it's doing that, where you have a tack as a speedo, switch your sensors around, because the 80 has two speed sensors. So just switch them around, see if that works. If so, cool. If not, you got something else is wrong, because everything else is straightforward, and that's pretty much the only thing that I know that would cause the sensors to be jacked up like that. I had to go on the forums and talk to a couple people, and they're like, hey, your speed sensor and your other sensor, I forgot what it's called, there's your VSS and I think it's your ISS, have them backwards. So hopefully that helps someone that's trying to do 4L60 to 4L80 swap and they're having some sort of problem because they plugged in the wrong sensor in the wrong spot. So hopefully that helps. Yet again, if this isn't popping up when you shift, like if you go, well, mine's not gonna pop up. I don't know why mine hasn't done that. Hasn't moved around with the gears since I got the truck. But yeah, if that's not like showing up or it's not in the right gear, you're gonna have to get that little thing that it's called a range sensor. That range sensor basically tells the tranny and the vehicle what gear you're in. And they're pretty cheap now. They used to be really expensive, I guess, but they're cheap to get at the part store. I think they're around $60 or something like that. I'd look into getting one of those too if you're having problems. But other than that, the swap was super simple. I already had the 6080 computer, so it was all just, everything's in there. I don't need to do any segment swapping. I don't have to do any tuning to get the tranny to work. The only thing that I'm gonna have to switch, I think this truck has 342s. I'm just guessing, and something like that, because most of these V6 trucks have 342s or 337s. But the computer out of this 2500 truck, the gear ratio was 410s. So the tranny is gonna we're guessing here that the tranny is gonna shift super quick, because the gear ratio isn't matched to the tranny and whatever is putting out. So I'm having quick shifting problems as well. So hopefully get the gear ratio changed in this thing and it stops speed shifting. I mean, it still goes through all the gears and everything. You can drive it just fine, but it speed shifts. So hopefully you can figure out that problem. Drive around on the long tube headers, just the headers. That sounded pretty cool, but I couldn't get the headers to work because my fabrication skills are not the best at the moment, to be honest. Just put stock manifolds back on it and stock exhaust. This truck will be getting turboed eventually, so I said screw it. I'm not gonna mess with putting expensive exhaust on it. I was looking into getting Speed Engineer headers and their wipe, but decided not to do that. I can't remember in the last video if I talked about doing the electric fans or not, but it's Super simple. I can go through that in the next video I do, or one of the upcoming videos on how to install the 06 to 07, or is it 05 to 07 electric fans. That's the year they came out with electric fans for this generation truck. I think I already said a part number in my last video for the V6 to V8 conversion for the radiator that you would need. I might have touched base on it. I can't remember. But super simple. I can go over in the computer on how to get them to turn on and everything like that. So it's not bad. It's really simple. You just have to have HP tuners. If you don't have HP tuners, find your local tuner that has HP tuners, or hopefully a friend that's got an HP tuners. But just a couple wires. You got to hook up a ground, hook up a power lug. Like, the best thing about putting electric fans in your truck is that it's a GM original part, so it just bolts into these trucks. I'm just super pumped that I got my Tranny stuff figured out, because that was really bothering me. I was thinking about it, up all night thinking about it. I have a small miss in the motor right now, so I'm probably gonna have to do wires, plugs, possibly coil packs. We'll see. These are brand new coil packs. I wanted to touch on the V6 to V8 swap stuff real quick too as well. I made a part 1, so I'm just gonna kind of include this as my part 2, and Tranny problems, fixing, troubleshooting. But I didn't show you guys the cross member I got off of eBay, and I didn't show you the motor mounts. But literally, I think everything, minus the motor, I think I have maybe $200 into the swap for putting a V8 in my V6. I mean, I part these trucks out, and so does my buddy, so we have a bunch of parts already. But I'd say for the average person, which you're gonna need the motor mount, which I had to go to my local junkyard, but it was like $40 for the driver's side 2-wheel drive motor mount, if you can find them in your junkyard. If not, you can buy the AC Delco one. I think they're like $80, but I got lucky and found one at the junkyard. So it'd be the motor mounts, and then you could possibly even reuse the V6 Tranny bolted up to your 5.3, 4.8, or your 6.0. I mean, I wouldn't suggest putting a 60 behind a 6.0, but I mean, if that's all you got, that's all you got. Run it. And then a couple pieces of pipe for my exhaust. That was probably another $40. And then I had bought a $60 cross member off of eBay. Everything bolted right up. There's that cross member right there. It's just a tube and then single bolt. The original drive shaft worked. The Tranny was a 60 that was a long tail, so it worked with the 80. The 80's a little bit longer, so that worked. That was good. It had a long tail shaft in it. But I'm super surprised on how clean this frame is. That's all surface rust. I'm thinking about doing like a chassis saver or a port 15 on it. Just picked up an HD hood for it. Got the HD hood. Can't wait to get this painted, color matched to the truck. Truck just needs to get repainted and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm going to stay this color. I have a surprise color I have picked out already.